Hello, my name is Kingmounseir and welcome to another video. In today's video, I will be showing you all autumnal build hacks. I'm not filming this in the autumn season, but I can show you some build hacks to help add autumn to your world since currently Minecraft doesn't have seasons yet. These hacks will be a way to add that sort of thing. Let's get started on the first hack. First hack we have is fallen leaves. I know that in one of the game drops that were released this year, this was added, leaf litter, which can be used to definitely add fallen autumn leaves to your world. But the last game drop from last year, the winter drop, otherwise known as Garden Awakens, this was added, resin clumps. You can get these by killing a creaking, and these will spawn on the sides of the pale oak tree. You can also add these to the tree leaves to add sort of something. This is just an example that I will show you a bit later on of what these autumn leaves could look like. And they also work on the ground as like different color leaves that have fallen and whatnot. And that's the end of this build hack. Over here, we have a white pumpkin patch. Now, we've all seen the regular pumpkins, right? You know, like this, you carve them, whatnot, but white pumpkins do exist, and I think black pumpkins also exist as well. Not entirely sure about that. But in the winter drop, a new wood type was added, called the pale oak wood type. And the trapdoors look very similar to the rinds of a pumpkin. So I thought it'd be interesting as a sort of white pumpkin. Show an example of a white pumpkin patch. And these are like tiny, ready to grow up pumpkins. And I was gonna add a carved white pumpkin look as well, using a banner, but I didn't know how to do that, so this is what I got. And some of the pumpkins are of course on their sides, some are right side up. I think this would be a very interesting pumpkin patch. Just to, add a little variation to your worlds. On to the next build hack. This build hack is called Autumn Leaves. And these are various blocks you can use to add different color leaves to your autumnal forests. Like for instance, we've got the waxed copper grate, and we've got yellow wool and orange terracotta for some yellow leaves. Of course, this is for orange leaves. Over here, we've got the netherwort block for red leaves. We've got a block of raw gold for these yellow leaves. And we've got red terracotta for these red leaves. And if you do them all together, it adds a whole lot of variation to your autumnal forests. And that's the end of this build hack. Over here, we have an apple orchard. And I'm featuring two different ways to show apples in a tree. Albeit, you'd have to use your imagination, maybe blur your eyes a little bit, but you can use red candles to show apples in a tree. You just have to put them in real well so it doesn't look like they're floating like that. And we've also got flower pots as apples as well. And I did show this in a previous build hacks video, but I like the hacks, so why not use it again? Of course, we've got the apples in a bucket, whatnot, as in like they're harvesting it. And yeah, that's the end of this build hack. On to the next one. This build hack is up in the United States and Canada. We have this holiday called Thanksgiving. I know it's also a thing in other countries, but this is one way you can sort of create like a Thanksgiving scene if y'all celebrate that holiday. So we've got a kitchen, and for this smoking effect, I put some campfires underneath these furnaces to show that these furnaces are cooking. And over here we've got a table. I know there's definitely a way to create like turkey, but I chose not to do that for this build hack. And you can make a pumpkin pie, which is already in the game. Looks like this. But you can make it as like a full block using an acacia wood slab and oak signs. And you can have a pumpkin pie right here. Of course, this can be cranberries. And yeah, that's the end of this build hack. Over here, I have a corn and squash field. So basically, I've shown how to make corn before, but also there's this companion plants garden hack called the Three Sisters. And basically you take corn, squash, and beans, you put them all together and they all help each other. In this example, I'm showing squash and corn together. I know beans is part of it, but ideally I'd use drip leaf, the small drip leaf, to signify beans, but you have to place that in water. But you can use the new bush as a sort of squash idea. In this example, I'm showing specifically zucchini, which I actually have corn, zucchini, and beans growing together in my own garden at home. And this build hack shows a scene where I'm using both the corn and the squash together to create a sort of farm scene. And yeah, that's the end of this build hack. Now, this build hack is kind of goofy because of how ginormous these are, but these are one way you can create turkeys in Minecraft, since they don't exist in the game. I think they should be added, just because I like turkeys. Over here we've got this male turkey with these very long gizzards. I think that's what they're called. And of course, some tail feathers. And this is the female version with a slightly smaller gizzard. Of course, both of these are in a forest scene, a birch forest. And yeah, that's the end of this build hack. Now, this is the last build hack of this video, and this is a sort of end of autumn before winter forest, and I've got the wax exposed copper grates as sort of the final decay of leaves before the trees become sticks, essentially. But I wanted to show that you can sort of use the armadillo's cute as nuts along the ground, ready to become new trees in the next season. Some dried grass, and these are ginormous, but these are supposed to represent table mushrooms, the types of mushrooms that grow on trees towards the end of the autumn season. Of course, some mushrooms everywhere as well, and some fallen leaves, what have you. And I think this is very nice to show a sort of transition from the autumn season over into the winter season. And that is the end of today's video. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe, as that would really help a lot. And click the notification bell so that way you can know when I upload another video, because currently my life is a little bit hectic at the moment. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed creating it a lot, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!